This meeting of the Southwest Licking Local Board of Education to order. It is Thursday, February 19th. Happy birthday, Ed. 2026, and we are in the Southwest Licking Boardroom. I'd like to recognize our visitors both here and online and ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great job.
Nice. And who was that class that just did that? Very nice.
Very nice.
and Surf Squad at Evan Elementary.
Very nice. Thank you.
so much.
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Dr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Spindler,
Here.
Mrs. Moore.
Here. We have a quorum. We will continue. Were there any public participation requests? Thank you. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, the agenda is adopted. Presentations. All state band selection and performance recognition. I'd like to invite Mr. Davis up.
Hi there. My name is Robert Davis. Better? Great. Thank you. Excited to share with you all tonight that we had a student this year who participated in the OMIA All-State Band. Sydney Hobbs is a senior clarinet player and a fabulous musician. This was her second year participating in the group. She was selected last year. She was originally an alternate and got called up and did a wonderful job, and this year ended up placing second chair in the All-State Band, placing her as one of the top high school clarinet players in the state and one of the finest high school musicians in the state this year, which is a really outstanding accomplishment for here, and we are, of course, tremendously proud of her and all of her hard work throughout her education and throughout middle school and high school as a member of the band program. And what better way to culminate that hard work than membership in the most prestigious honors ensemble in our state. So really excited to congratulate her and thank you to the Board of Education for taking a moment to recognize her tonight. And they have prepared this plaque for you. It says, this award is presented to Sydney Hobbs by the Southwest Licking Local Schools Board of Education in recognition of her selection and performance in the 2026 Ohio Music Education Association All-State Band. Congratulations.
Yeah, if you have other people you want to put in there.
Congratulations.
Watkins Middle School.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to kind of share our building spotlight tonight for Watkins Middle School. When we went throughout the year here and we kind of reflected on where we're at this point in the year, in previous years we've highlighted a lot of stuff with our ag program, arts, various other things as well. I really looked back and was incredibly proud of the work that our counseling team did this year. They're such an integral part of what we do at Watkins Middle School. With almost 1,200 kids, they have large tasks in front of them. They are incredibly reflective. They use data, to make good decisions and use a lot of good evidence-based practices. But even more than that, they do so much to help our building culture out. And so I've asked them to kind of put together just kind of a slide of all the amazing things that they do throughout this year, and they're going to share that with you. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Paris, Molly, and Kelly to come up and kind of share about what it is that they've done this year.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. All right. I'm Molly Hahn. This is my 15th year as a school counselor, 6th with Watkins, and I serve all students with the last names A through G.
And I'm Kelly Parker. I serve the students H through M in the alphabet, and this is my 12th year at Watkins, but my 2nd year as a school counselor.
I am Paris Huggins. I service the alphabet N through Z. I pull up the rear. I know that none of you would ever guess it, but I have been in education for now 27 years, and this is my 2nd year with Southwest Licking. Thank you. Okay, so to get us started, we wanted to just let you know that ultimately what we've done, kind of give you an overarching of what we do in our program. We've taken the data from last year in terms of what our kids need, that sort of thing, to develop an SEL program, and kind of tiered that out to make sure that we are addressing every student in the building. So our tier 1, we selected the program Second Step, where we're focusing on empathy, managing emotions, responsible decision-making, and problem-solving for all students. For our tier 2 kids, those kids we've kind of identified as maybe needing just a little more help, and so they receive tier 1. However, they also receive additional instruction for communicating effectively, managing personal resources, setting and achieving personal goals, as well as studying effectively. And finally, for our tier 3 students who need just a little more love, we work with them with a program called Heart Math. And that particular program, in addition to the tier 1 strategies, they also receive assistance with learning to calm their bodies and minds and kind of regulate their emotions.
This is our 2nd year implementing minute meetings. Essentially what a minute meeting is where we take time twice a year to attempt to meet with every student in the building for a couple minutes just to check in and see how their school year is going, how home's going, how things are going with friends, and identify any immediate resources they might need. And then we use this data to compare it. We typically do one in the fall, and then we do a mid-year check, and we look for any significant changes that we see with students. And then we also use this to identify needs and build connections just with the counseling team so they have a familiar face if they don't have a trusted adult in the building. And then we also use that information to identify maybe which students might benefit from groups. And so our round 2 minute meetings are actually scheduled for the week of March 16th through the 20th, but usually with our growing building, we're seeing at least over 1,100, close to 1,200 students twice a year.
So, based on that minute meeting data that we collected, we have come up with a number of counseling groups. To begin, we implement ROCKS, our Ruling Our Experiences, a young women's empowerment group. We have groups at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, as well as alumni groups. We have developed a boys and girls social skills groups that runs through our social work program. Heart Math Extension Group, where we work with those kids who I mentioned earlier, are receiving instruction on the Heart Math program. Grief Group for any student who has experienced recent or previous loss, but still needs help working through the grief process. And Mariposas, which is very similar to ROCKS, with an emphasis on Latina and Hispanic girls.
And at the beginning of the year, we implemented the Start With Hello program. Most of our schools have that, but it is to promote awareness, inclusion, and then connection right off the bat during the school year. The goal is absolutely simple, but it is really important. It's that fostering relationships in school environment and making a really positive impact on those around us. During the week, kids participated in a variety of different activities, but most of those were in the classroom, and they were fostering growth and strengthening the peer relationships around them.
Our next major activity is in conjunction with Ohio House Bill 123, the Save Students Act, which states that we are to provide annual evidence-based instruction in suicide awareness. We use the Erica's Lighthouse program. Our counseling department works in conjunction with our social work department or our social work team to present for students. And our biggest takeaways in that particular program is to educate students on mental health awareness and educating them on who and where to go for help.
We are in our third year of taking all of our 7th graders to Ohio State Newark COTC campus. It's a challenging feat because they only allow us to take 100 kids per visit because that can be a lot of middle schoolers all in one place. So we break it down into 4 different days. But students hear from representatives from both OSU Newark and COTC. They hear from representatives from both, and then they also receive a campus tour. And the purpose is just early exposure and giving students who might not otherwise have the opportunity to start thinking about post-secondary options.
And to complement that, our 8th graders visit CTEC. They've been doing this for a very long time now, but another pretty large undertaking in regards to a field trip that we do. We've now split into 2 days because we are much larger, as Molly explained. But this is now to expose them to the career and technical education programs and give them truly like structured opportunities to explore high-demand career pathways and strengthen their engagement in school. You know, we plan this field trip where students are actually seeing the students firsthand. They're taking them on the tours, and this peer-led model is not only engaging, it's also allowing students to envision where they might be in the program in future years.
Okay, and so for our 6th graders, we had a foolproof plan to take them to Finance Park this year so that they would have a campus and opportunity, if you will, to take a field trip over to Finance Park through Junior Achievement. However, as a result of unexpected calamity days, testing dates, scheduling demands, and the required number of days that it would have taken us to get all of our 6th graders on campus, which would have been 6 days out, we opted to create our own opportunity for this year, and we are lovingly calling it Watkins Park, where we will provide simulations for our 6th graders and give them an opportunity to budget and make real life decisions as 6th graders, you know, with the guidance of our team and our 6th grade teachers.
New to our building this year, we have created the Career Speaker Series, which Dr. Moore had been a part of, so we appreciate willingness from the community. During our focus block, and they're doing it once a month. And this opportunity was created basically to allow students to see professionals in careers that they have personally identified as areas of interest. Rather than just reading about the careers, these students are hearing directly from individuals who are currently working in the field. And so through these engaging sessions that have all been very different, mind you, they're gaining authentic insight into career paths that might be their career in the future. And this goal was just simply to allow for career exploration and making it a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more personalized just throughout their time. Those are the lists of those that we've seen this year so far. We have one more coming up in March. We have Ag and Food. Mr. Lawrence is joining us from Lawrence Orchards.
Senate Bill 288, also known as Aaron's Law, requires all Ohio public schools to provide age-appropriate instruction in child abuse and dating violence prevention. We've partnered with our school social work team to implement the Speak Up program, and those are grade level presentations currently underway and should be completed by March 3rd.
And lastly, throughout our time this year together, we have identified over 800 students who have required some individual support. They put in a counseling request and had some additional follow-up. You can see up there about 30% were self-referrals for academic concerns, about 10 in regards to career and college readiness, and then the last 60% was just talking more so about social emotional needs. And these requests are in addition to the ongoing services that we've been providing, which include like the one-on-one services, short-term group counseling that have been designed to reach them in a preventative way, but also in a restorative way. So we proactively, planned for the year in regards to implementing evidence-based programming like we talked about tonight. So all of the second step, the Start With Hello, the Aaron's Law, the Erica's Lighthouse, all intentional in planning. These were meant to tie into the social emotional needs that our students have self-identified and focus on prevention, awareness, and connection as a school. As a result of these needs, we keep and collaborate closely with families, community resources, and outside providers to really give students a comprehensive and coordinated support system in school. Our days are never the same, and the issues are never the same, but what remains constant is the importance of the early and intentional support at the middle school level. Early intervention during these formative years is critical in helping students to grow into confident, capable, and resilient young adults.
And lastly, we just want to thank the board and our administration for us to have, this is our second year that we've had the opportunity to attend the All Ohio School Counselors Conference together. And a lot of the ideas behind this presentation, the minute meetings, and the Career Speakers Series evolved at the Counselors Conference. So we just wanted to say thank you and answer any questions you might have.
Questions? This is great work. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Thank you.
Etna Elementary. Keep going.
All right, this is the elementary Soar and Surf Squad. And instead of you hearing me talk about this amazing leadership group, I'm gonna let them share what they do at Etna Elementary. And I might be behind them with the script in case they get nervous, I'm just letting you know. All right, go ahead when you're ready.
Hi, my name is Henry. We are so excited to be here tonight to represent the Soar and Surf Squad at Etna Elementary. Our squad is a group of student leaders who want to make the school the best place it can be. Hi, my name is Cameron. We are just students. We are role models. We are going to start our presentation with the Edna pledge. We are Edna Eagles. We are smart. We are open-minded. We are adventurous. We are respectful. Together we soar. My name is Logan. The Edna Pledge is something we do daily at Edna as a reminder of our school expectations. I'd like to share how we all got to be a part of the squad. We all had to complete an application and then go through an interview process with Mr. Smith and Mrs. Brown. Once we were selected, we all had to meet and promise to follow past expectations. Hi, I'm Rhea and I'm here to talk about what we stand for. To be on the squad, we have to follow the pledge we took when we got selected. We also meet monthly with Mr. Smith, Ms. Brown, and Ms. Shea. We complete leadership lessons monthly and work together for our work. We all have different roles. My name is Calvin. Being a leader means having big jobs and responsibilities that other students are not have. We work together to help our teachers, support our friends, and make sure everybody at Etna feels like they belong. Our jobs will be listed in the slides above. But to summarize, some of us monitor the hallways and help everyone start their day with a smile. My name is Bentley. Our jobs we have are helping at recess, help with to make sure everyone has a friend to play with, as well as help make sure our recess items are put away. We also help with our monthly character trait assemblies and special projects happening around the building.
Hi, my name is Charlie. My favorite part of being on the Soar and Surf Squad is helping others. It makes me feel proud to know that my teachers trust me to be a leader. so many exciting things happening at our school. One thing we are really excited about is our outdoor learning space that we are in the planning process for. We have been working with the community in Columbus Hardscape to fundraise for this exciting event for our school and for everyone that has gone ahead.
Thank you guys so very much. We are really proud of them, and I want to give them, if we're okay, a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And by all means, if anybody was here for the presentation and you guys want to leave, feel free to leave. Okay, item 3, request to speak, Teamsters Local 413, Southwest Licking Education Association. Item 4, I need a motion to approve minutes.
A motion to approve.
Second?
Is that all minutes?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
A and B.
And C.
And C.
Any discussion? Mr. Jones?
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that passes. Item 5, financial report from the treasurer.
Motion approval 5A. Second?
Mr. Jones?
Included on the agenda is executive summary for the end of January 2026. Tell Mike, it's a fairly routine month. We got our third income tax settlement of the year. It came in about $52,000, higher than we anticipated, which is doing very well. Overall, revenues 2% higher than we expected. Expenditures are 1% lower than we budgeted. So we're doing very well. I can be glad to answer any specific questions you may have.
Any questions?
I know we're going to see the forecast eventually, but nothing here is showing the ramifications of all of the updated House bills and things so far. Is that correct?
Correct. It won't until next fiscal year because it's,
correct?
yes,
Okay.
yep.
Any other questions? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that motion passes. We have personnel consent, A through L. We can take them individually if you like, at the board's pleasure. Or all together.
Together is probably better than we can discuss. How about motion to approve 6A through L?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, a couple of things that I wanted to share, and then obviously if you guys have any questions. So first I wanted to touch on the 2 job descriptions. So the Director of Academic Affairs and Business Operations, you'll also see under the personnel consent calendar that I'm recommending Jared Ball take that position next year. That is not a new position, it's just a title change. He will be serving in the capacity of the previous Director of Curriculum position. So trying to kind of broaden our scope for some of the work those directors do, wearing multiple hats and aligning their titles appropriately for what he'll be working with. So it will still be a focus of curriculum at the secondary band, as well as seeing some business operations in the district. The second job description, the Director of Specialized Services Assessment, that is currently the Gifted and EL Coordinator, Ashley Lejeune. So she'll be continuing to do the Gifted and EL services, as well as she'll be taking over our assessment. She'll do all the assessments within the district, which is a large job as it is currently. Our high school principal, Melissa, is doing that in addition to her job, so which was previously under the curriculum director. So kind of reshuffling some title changes, different opportunities while still continuing to do some of the work. So I did want to point those 2 out. I also wanted to share and make known for the public, Joel Baker, our current high school assistant principal, will transition next year to our middle school as head principal. Very excited for him and that opportunity. I think it's going to be fantastic. As I said, with Jared's position, Melissa Ladowitz has chosen to remain at the high school as our principal, and we're very excited about that. We do have in the audience Baron Smith, who will be joining us next year as the new assistant principal at the high school. He is a community member with children in our school district. He's currently serving in capacity of a principal in Newark City Schools. So we're very excited to welcome him aboard and have him on our team. And then obviously Ashley Lejeune is transitioning into this director position from her current coordinator. Any questions on that stuff before I keep going?
Other than just to reiterate, these are no new additional positions. These are just shuffling of individuals into some additional roles.
Yes, correct. No new positions. Matter of fact, the curriculum director has sat vacant all year, has not been filled.
Correct.
So yes, no new administrative positions. And I don't think, check real quick here. We have lots of supplementals. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to point out. I think that's it, unless you guys have any questions on the personnel consent calendar for me.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that motion passes. 7, personnel.
Motion 7A through C.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Abstain?
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that passes. Item 8, business items. Again, we can take them individually or however the board chooses.
Motion 8A through F.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay, so the first one is our annual membership for Ohio High School. So we just need to, board needs to approve that, and then we'll sign off on it, Mrs. Moore and myself. Do you want to do B, Rick?
Yeah, B is the annual amounts and rates as certified by the Budget Commission. We really don't have a say. They're still estimating the same amount of revenue because the state's supposed to reimburse us, but we're actually going to get less because the state's going to reimburse us over 2 years, but we're losing all in 1 year. So, but they certified like the levy's going to collect the full amount of money for the whole calendar year. But we don't really have a say in it unless we want to lower the rates. But we don't have to. We can't adjust the rates other than that.
Okay, and then C is a motion to reschedule the March 19th board meeting to the 17th of that week. Unfortunately, obviously I try not to miss board meetings, hence why I'm asking to reschedule it. My son is having tonsil surgery, and he is unfortunately at the mercy of the Naval Academy when that is. So that's not his choice when to schedule, so I'm respectfully asking I don't like to miss. So if you wouldn't mind rescheduling to that Tuesday, then I can make sure I was here. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or.
I'm okay with Tuesday.
Me too.
Me too.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, thank you. D is an overnight robotics trip to Cleveland for their culminating competition. And they will miss 2 days of school, and obviously we'll be making their work up. Okay, let me pass out some calendars here so we can talk about the fun calendar. So, best laid plans. We were ahead, we did 2 years worth of calendars, only to have to redo it. So apparently, all of the fairs have been pushed back, which creates a plethora of problems because they share the same vendors. So everything is bumping back from the state to the Hartford to the street fair. And obviously, we do go to school during the street fair. The concern became with the Hartford fair and our kids and showing animals and all that kind of stuff, which is something we want to support. With that being said, when we made some shifts on the calendar and we were going to bring it back to the board anyways, we took the opportunity to make some adjustments to accommodate for a lot of our Nepali population. Teachers have been talking in great lengths about their holidays and when they miss a chunk of school, so we took an opportunity to work with Licking Heights to model some of the things they do in their calendar. So I kind of wanted to walk you just through the months here to show you what has changed. Obviously, we worked in collaboration with the union on this, so a couple of little tweaks they wanted, and we were happy to oblige by those as well. So in August, we pushed the start of school back a week. I don't think anyone's going to be drastically sad about that. I'm sure everyone thinks we start early anyway. So teachers will come back that Thursday and Friday. And then for the first time in many years, we will start kids on that Monday. So that will be a long week for teachers that first week back, but it'll still be the staggered start and all of that good stuff. But that allows us to keep our 2 weeks at Christmas, which was important. So we did move some professional development waiver days around. We changed, the waiver day is not actually a term anymore that the state acknowledges, so we just align that with professional development days, so it makes sense. I'm not going to point all those out to you because I know that's not as imperative. I did want you guys to take note of October. So this is one of the largest Nepali holidays, where you see in the week of the 19th through the 23rd. So in aligning ourselves with, again, like I said, Heights, who has done this, we're going to have our 2 teacher PD days, as well as our student success day, which is a day for staff to have, intervention meetings, parent-teacher conferences that week, and then we will have that Thursday and Friday off. So similar to a fall break, which a lot of districts are now doing. So a fall break, but again, hopefully helping alleviate those attendance issues we're kind of seeing during that time period. That is why we also moved one of our waiver days till November 10th. That again is a large Nepali holiday, and our attendance is pretty bad that day, which makes additional work for kids, but also the teachers that are trying to catch all those kids up. So that kind of shifts. Let me see.
It's also Veterans Day too.
Good point. Double bonus. And then in March, this calendar shifted our spring break down a week from what it initially was. So that was a small change. And we also have moved, this was going to happen anyways. I was bringing a recommendation to move it regardless. We need to back up our graduation a little bit. We've got to make sure we're not falling into where we hit this year with our hours with our seniors. So we're going to be, Melissa and her team are going to be working on kind of bringing back a lot of those senior activities and things that we used to do that kind of fell by the wayside during the pandemic. So graduation next year will be moved until the 22nd, and then moving forward, that will be consistently the weekend we'll be going with. So some minor adjustments along the way. Again, modifications for the fair, and since we were doing it, fixing some other problems we've noticed as we've gone. So we obviously need the board to vote on it because it's quite a substantial change. And I wanted to make sure nobody had any questions about anything.
Any questions?
I think the teachers in general will, well, I mean, again, the union talked to, I don't know how many or who they talked to, but they made sure to hit each grade band to get feedback or whatever. So it doesn't ever go out to the whole staff in general, but I think they'll be happy with this calendar, and hopefully we'll meet their needs they've been looking for with some of the things they've talked about. So that's that, and then the last one, because my computer just shut down. Oh, is the school board training. Do you want to talk about that, Rick?
Actually, the good board members asked about it. So,
Okay.
I reached out to High School Board Association about a possible training. We used to do a lot with new board members come in, have them talk about the procedures, interaction with superintendents, right, all the stuff like that. They said it's usually about a 2 to 3 hour training. I didn't know what the board's thoughts were on that training, doing it again. It was like $1,000 plus mileage. I have some updated dates from Ms. Robbins. All of them are in March, early March, so I didn't know. In addition, either way, we need to schedule a special board meeting because we're trying to get the contract approved for the track and the football field replacements. And that's just got the bids in this week, and we talked about them today. They got some more finalizing proposals, so it's not quite ready yet to bring it to the board, but we don't want to wait till the March board meeting.
So they would come here to train?
Yes, she'll
okay.
come here, yep.
And it's a board meeting.
It's a board
Consider
meeting, it's a board meeting.
right?
It is a board
Because we're
meeting.
all
So we
here.
could do the special, it could be a special meeting for training plus the.
Yes.
Perfect.
That is correct.
And what are the available dates, Rick?
She has mentioned March 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 9th, or 10th. I'll stop there.
Sorry, you said 2nd, 3rd.
5th, 9th, or 10th. If none of those working, I can keep going. So. She also has the 12th. But if we could do it earlier, that'd be
Can't do
good
the
for.
10th, that's staff of the quarter, student of the quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be the only one that I couldn't move
If
something
by
around.
chance we do that first week, that's going to help us get that contract out.
I think
If
I'm fine
possible.
going as early as possible. Do we need a motion to make?
Yeah, we need a motion to basically to approve what date, what time, and the purpose, and where.
You want to do it the second?
I'm fine with any of those.
Second works best for me.
Second?
Yeah.
Can you do? Good?
Yeah, I should be able to.
What time?
What time, you want to do 5 o'clock? How early? What's early? Should we do 5? If it's going to be a couple hours long, do you want to do 5 o'clock?
Yeah, any
5
time's
o'clock?
fine with me.
Right.
Can you?
Oh, yeah, I can do
you
5. Yeah.
Kathy, can you do 5?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion for a special board meeting with OSBA board training on Monday, the 2nd of March at 5 p.m.
In the board.
And then.
in the boardroom.
Right, but then it'd be and a meeting to follow it, or is that
It's
it'd be all-
considered the same
it's
board
all
meeting.
one. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
the
all one.
purpose-
Okay, I didn't know if
purpose
we
would
had
be
to
the
say
training,
yeah.
It's a special meeting for OSBA training and
Yeah.
to award a contract, since it's going to be a special meeting.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
will
know if
be.
we had
And
to.
he'll, yeah.
Okay.
When it's announced, it'll have to show both those.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
that's. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That we can do it.
Yeah. Does that work?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Mr. Jones?
Okay, so that's, I guess we got 2 different seconds
Two,
here.
yep.
We got 2 motions going here, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this is a motion for scheduling the special,
Yeah, so it's kind of like amendment to the motion that just, the original motion, which is to schedule the training, so we're doing that first. So this is March 2nd, 2026, 5 p.m., board meeting room, purposes, the training, and the awarded contract. Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
yes. The motion to hold the special board meeting passes. Now we'll go back to 8.
And then 8A through F, it's everything with those due
Do
dates
we
and
need a
times.
motion to move the board meeting, the regular, from the 19th to the 17th then?
Yeah, that's already in here,
Oh, okay.
because we had that date specifically picked out, if that date works for everybody.
Oh, it is in there, sorry.
It's okay.
Any discussion on the remaining items? Mr. Jones?
All right. Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, yes. That motion passes. Item 9, agreements. We have 2 agreements on there. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve 9A and B.
Second.
So A is a transportation agreement. If you have questions, I'm sure Dan would love to chat about you with it. Sitting right there. And then our second one is we are going to fly in Mary Poppins. So,
Fun.
so that's going to be really exciting, maybe partially scary. So anyways, those are the 2 agreements. If you have any questions, happy to.
One thing to point out about Virgo is, I told my brother board, is they're asking for a prepayment. I usually never prepay because I have to then get the money back because they don't show up. But they're asking for a minimum of $5,218 prepayment before they'll come. So I just want to make sure we're aware of that because it's not what I want to do, but I think about the best I can negotiate because they wanted full payment before they show
That
up.
has to be by the 23rd, right? So that
Yeah.
has to be by this
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But you negotiated for half.
Yeah, so the current contract's what we've talked about, negotiated, so I told them I wouldn't guarantee it. I'll bring it to the board, let the board decide on that part of it, but.
Now, if we were against that, would they pull out? Or
Yeah.
what? They would?
Yep.
Okay.
That happens every once in a while. Someone pushes back, like they require. It's not our practice, obviously, but
No.
it
Right.
happens every once in a while.
And on the busing, I'm assuming that's just not us capable of busing some students. Is that correct, Dan?
I know
For
literally
safety.
we're spending money, special education wise. This is actually saving us some money. So these kids are currently on special transportation for a car both ways every single day. Mr. Brown got creative and was able to work some part of the route with us. So that's why it's kind of funky there. So like on Fridays, the route's a little bit different. But yes, actually, I'll say this a little louder. Mr. Jones, we're saving money on the special education.
Spending less is what it is.
But good job. Thank you to
Yes.
you and Mr. Brown on that then.
Any additional questions?
Nope.
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that motion passes. Item 10, treasurer's items.
Motion to approve 10A with thanks, and B and C.
I'll second.
Again, donations, we always appreciate that. With thanks, we have a couple of then now certificates. State Drive, just again, didn't have the purchase order in place in time. And the Garden Miller one is when the board approved. We had to go out and do the RFQ. We already had a previous purchase order in place, but with the RFQ, we had to cancel it and issue a new one. So that's why there's a little bit of timing issues on that one. 5-year forecast, really, it hasn't, the expenditures haven't changed much from what the board approved in August, September. So really the big change is the effects of House bills that were approved by the hired legislator. So did a little short there. So basically 3 major changes. Really the first one is what's got us the most, House Bill 129. So they're referred to 129, 186, and 335. Really the one that's having the largest effect on us is 129, and this is our substitute levy is now counts towards the calculations of the 20 mil floor. We have been on the 20 mil floor since 1996. So this will be the first time we've come off with this inclusion, and now we have to basically that eliminates any kind of additional revenue other than new construction. We still get new construction increases, but in that we're just basically our revenues are flatlined. So what's a major change in the calculations of, because originally we were forecasting increases whenever there was a reappraisal, triennial update, they were modest, 10%, but it was 10% each time it happened. So, you know, it adds up to a lot of money. 186, because of 129, really 186 won't hurt us, and won't touch us until we get back to a 20 mil floor. But once we get back there, then it limits how much growth is to basically a 3-year average of the GDP deflator, which that number, it changes every year, and the just averages has been high lately, but there's times it's been like 0.01, you know, it's been 0.045, so it's been really low. So that's going to also put a limit on how much revenue, but that's not going to be until we get 20 mil floor, which probably won't be 2031, 32 before we get back there. So it's going to be a while before we can get back there. And then House Bill 335, similar to 186, other than this applies specifically to the inside millage. Basically, same thing, limits it to 3 years. So the real fact is it's basically resulted in a $34.5 million loss in actual and projected revenue. By actual, I'm estimating right now that we're going to lose in August of 26 somewhere around $5 million, which is money that they're going to take from our next settlement. So it's basically going to, each taxpayer will get a tax credit on your tax bill, so it will help you. You may or may not see it depending on how your escrows and stuff, and it's going to throw escrows all over the place. And I'm still concerned about how that $5 million, does that continue? It seems like it has to continue. If not, it's like a down, then back up again. But the High Department of Taxation has not put out any kind of formulas or anything. They have until, I think, March 19th to do it. And so far, we don't know. We're just doing our best estimation. My work company, K-12 with 5-year forecast, they had numbered a little bit higher than I did in reference to revenue. I took it down to what I projected, so it was like a $3 million difference. Still a lot of money, but a little more conservative on the effects of these House bills. So over the forecast 26 through 30, we're going to lose about $34.35 million in projected and actual. As a result, our cash balance goes from projected to be at the end of this forecast $23.1 million. By 2030, we'll be $21.2 million in the hole. What means we will run out of cash in fiscal year 29 without some major changes. There's only 2 changes: reduce expenditures, increase revenue. Really the only thing you can do. It's basically a 22 forecast, almost $23 million change in fund balance, which is huge. Part part of the forecast change in the revenue on the expenditure side is, I did reduce benefits some by the actual increase in our healthcare. Originally, they were saying 15. That's what I had in the August, September forecast. It came in actually 3.9, so it was reduced. But I also wiped out all raises after 2027. You can't give a raise when you're $6 million in the hole or $21 million in the hole. So starting this year, it only get, we're going this year negative cash flow of about $850,000. To next year, it goes to $6.8 million negative cash flow and just grows. So obviously, I only have to submit 26 through 29. When the state gets it, they're going to see we're a negative cash balance. So they will require us to provide a plan to them on how we anticipate getting out of that. It's only going to look like to them, $5.6 million. They don't see the extra year, which is why it's important to have the extra year, is $21 million the next year. So we're going to have to come up with a plan that's acceptable to the state. And if we can't, they may put us in fiscal watch, fiscal emergency, take us over. It's the biggest thing is school districts, 85% of our budget staffing.
Right.
You can't make changes by taking out a bulb or cutting budgets by 10%. That's piddly. You got to reduce staffing. Staffing or benefits, and most of the benefits are negotiated, so.
And I suppose our plan to the state with our letter, why we're explaining why we're going to be in the hole, can't be how we're going to fix it is for them to fully fund the Patterson.
Yeah. They're going to say it's fully funded, but put the actual cost inputs.
Correct. Right.
Yes, actually update the cost inputs so it's actually a working formula.
Instead of,
not a plan where they're making local people pay more, local community pay more, and the state paid less. So we haven't been this dire since 2000, never this bad, but 2008, we had these same issues, and we had to approve substitute levy. So they're doing this to reduce taxes, property taxes, but the only two options is a property tax or increasing our income tax. Those are the only two options that we really have in reference to increasing revenue. The other thing is you said, staffing-wise. So the forecast is what it is. I'm presenting 26 through 29. State will be reaching out pretty soon. And then by the time we do the August forecast, they'll see basically the $21 million deficit. And still, we really won't have a good idea exactly where it's all going to affect us. So it's a huge change for our school district. And when they did these, some basic financial forecasting for how this is going to affect the schools, it affected our school district the third highest in the state. So, you try to work, try to be conservative, we try to do what's right, and then you feel like you're getting penalized.
It's not a feeling like you get penalized.
No, that's
we were
what
absolutely,
absolutely
yeah.
penalized.
I mean, we do have the ability to move money from 070 up to cover 29. We probably have enough to cover 30, but that's it. And you're talking there, but we're not helping us because we're still going from 13 million spending too much to 15. So by 31, you're up to 18 million spending too much. So we've always told the board in the past, the sooner you start making changes, the smaller they have to be. There ain't no smaller one this change. So, we're going to have to do something sooner than later, and probably possibility be on the ballot in November with a bond issue and operating levy of some type. It's probably going to be what we're going to have to do. Maybe as part of these meetings we see at the community where we'll approve a input on income tax versus a property tax. There's the ability to change our traditional income tax over to earned income tax. Obviously, you have to collect a little bit higher to get the same amount of money, but anybody who's retired, Social Security, they won't have to pay that income tax. We had one community member reach out in the past about, why don't you guys go for earned income tax? But looking at this, just the numbers out there, looking at where we're projecting our income tax to be at, we're probably basically will have to double. So to go from earned to from a traditional to earned, we'll have to go from 3/4 to a 1% just to break even. So it had to be a 1% just to get the same amount of money. probably needs to be 2% to help offset this. And still, in looking at it, we're still a couple $1 million. That's basically, still we're going to reduce expenditures some too along the way. Like I said, none of this includes any raises from 28, 29, or 30. But we've been through it before. We're going to figure our way out of it, but it's not of our doing.
Right.
It's the state's doing it to us.
Actually, our doing was our constituents passing the substitute levy.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was. I'll be glad to answer any specific questions, but basically the main difference between the two forecasts is the effects of these 3 House bills.
Yeah.
And really, 129 is what's really hurting us right now. And the 3-year, and actually 186 is too, because this is the one that includes the clawback to 2023.
Yeah.
If you have any specific questions, I'll be glad to answer them, but
Any questions?
we got some challenges ahead of us.
Yes, we do. Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, that motion passes. 11, superintendent items?
Okay, well, on that happy note.
Yeah.
Tuesday will be our first community meeting, 6 o'clock at the WIS. We did TAN, disseminated information, I don't even know, everywhere.
Yeah, we contacted multiple churches and they put it out on their bulletins. The Y posted it, the public library, and several restaurants here in town. So we're expecting throngs.
It's also obviously on social media. And what was I going to say? Oh, this one will be focused on growth, our numbers. It will be a series. It's going to be, we're going to start out with a presentation, kind of a sharing of information, and then break out into small groups so we can truly, get community input, feedback. We're going to have opportunities for them if they're, not comfortable in that setting and they want to just submit questions. That may be online, not during the thing, but afterwards, and or in there on a QR code. They can scan it, they can submit questions. We're going to be doing a lot of video sharing out, incorporating some of the kids in the district to get the information out based on those questions they submit as well. So we're going to be the first one in that format, see how that goes with us sharing, and then working in small groups and kind of go from there. So that will be Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the WIS. And then obviously I will update the board at the next board meeting too, give an update, and then we'll have the next one and we'll kind of go from there. Also, we do on the calendar always have, I wanted to bring this up too, the 5 calamity days, and we make up the calamity days at the end. We obviously had a abnormal winter storm this year, so we have had 7 days. It would be my recommendation to not, I don't think there's a need to make up those days after all the assessments are done. We're well beyond our hours. We are changing the senior schedule, which will help with their alignment and bringing back some fun things for them to do kind of to culminate their senior year. So I don't think there's a need per se just to bring in kids and teachers at the end of May, beginning of June, just for the sake of those 2 days, when obviously that's not something that's happened since I've been in this position in 7 years. And actually I don't think it's happened since I've been in the district for 15, 16 years. So unless anyone's opposed to that, that was kind of my plan. We are working, the district has put together a remote learning plan. We will be taking that to the union. I don't anticipate we'll need that this year, but that would help us if we got in the situation in the future. If we wanted to enact one of those days, we could put that out and go ahead and do that if we did get in this position again. So we'll be a little bit ahead of the curve for if this happens moving forward. And then lastly, since it will be before the next board meeting, I just wanted to share, and you're welcome to stop over and check it out if you haven't seen it before, but we will have our Licking County Job Fair on March 16th. We host that for the whole county. Tanya does an excellent job putting that together, and it is, I don't remember last year, I want to say 140. We had a lot. We have historically in the past also had a lot, and that is where we have actually hired quite a few of our teachers have come from that. So it's a tremendous event that everybody in the county really appreciates, and I appreciate her work she puts into that as well. And yep, that's all I have tonight.
Any questions? Item 12, executive, I need a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of, get there. Motion to adjourn into executive session to consider the employment of a public employee. And for anybody that's here or online, after we come back from that executive session, we will not be conducting any business other than adjournment. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Moore,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, we are in executive session at 6:56 p.m. We are back in regular session. It is 7:16 p.m. Roll, please.
Mrs. Engel.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Dr. Moore.
Here.
Mrs. Spindler.
Here.
Mrs. Moore.
Here, we have a quorum. We'll continue. We need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
What?
Second. Give it to him.
Roll.
Mr. Miller.
Yep.
All right, Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Dr. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes, we are adjourned at 7:17. Was I done?